Our site is in the center of Moscow. It's the YES-1, being the oldest power station in the city, located next to the river, and less than 1,000 meters from the Kremlin. Our area is divided in three parts. The first located in front of the river, the second with an access from the back street, and the third located on the right side. These three plots will have a common area situated in the middle. Mapping of the existing improvements in the city begins with the search for the documents, spaces, and the system that concern the uses implemented in the YES-1, such as religious center, waste center, hospitals, libraries, and universities. Other factors that could affect our project are the wind or the noise.
The project arises as a twin of two programs, an intergenerational residence and Russian bats. The proposed spaces respond to the needs of these uses. The space is configured inside the volume of the pre-existence, opening for lighting, ventilation, and chimneys for the smoke evacuation. The house is placed on the roof in the horizontal plane for the elderly and the towers for the young, generating a mixed plan of coexistence.
In the context of a growing environmental emergency caused by an inefficient way of dealing with garbage in Moscow and the lack of waste sorting centers, a model is needed that creates a symbiotic interdependence of large recycling facilities and public programs. The objective is to guarantee its inclusion in the urban fabric and avoid the export of more than 90% of the waste to landfill, integrating its treatment in the city. This infrastructure advertises a waste classification center, a waste treatment center, and a textile industry that will be supplied with recycled raw material, in order to raise awareness and make garbage a recognized benefit for its inhabitant instead of a taboo.
The facing part of the river will be made up of a multi-religious center destined for all believers in the world, such as Christian, Orthodox, Jews, Islamics. In the inner part of the plot will be an educational center, where they will have their workshops, classrooms, libraries. These two parts will be connected by a green common area, understood as a public square but covered, supporting the climate condition of Moscow during the winter. The multi-religious center will be composed with a tower to establish a connection with the countess, having views to the park, to the Kremlin, and significant buildings around. The final volume is completed with a common hosting block in height and with a continuous access with a transversal axis. A pedestal path is proposed to isolate noise and odors.
The prototypes. Each member of the cell works with a different prototype but with a certain similarity in terms of materiality. We all work with plastic. And there is also a common interest in the quality of transparency. In the first case, it focuses on the control of opacity, which is sought by a cycle of the waters of Russian baths. Through a natural tint, the panels are opaque when it detects a certain human presence. In the case of tinting, a plastic structure is used as an envelope that contains pressurized air to achieve both thermal and acoustic insulation given the condition of the program, and the verification of the structure of this same plastic material. In Oli's case, it works specifically with the chronic insulator with different origami folds sewn between the rich with heat-reactive shape memory polymer. The prototype generates movement as an environmental alert device in the case of lack of recycling.